Last night I had a paranormal battle happened. A manifestation of something paranormal within my home. Today I want to talk about potentially haunted homes built on newer foundations, newer locations, and it's built on grounds that somehow intertwine, potentially interfering, potentially leading to a haunting. This is my experience. I moved to Arizona 5 years ago, and going over 5 years. And when I first moved in, there was an old man, and he spoke, and he said to me that you sleep on the floor. And I don't know if it was because I was intimidated because he was an older man, or if it's, we got to be very, very, very aware and cautious about the people that we let close to us, the people that we let give advice to us, because sometimes you believe these lies. And moving into this place, there's been, for me personally, in a battle. And my children, Samuel and Maximia, they have their own beds. And it has nothing to do with them. It's not affecting them. This has been how it's been affecting me. However, I have been needing to be really close to them, overshadow them, overprotect them, for 5 years. Basically, on the floor somewhere, where in close proximity, on a couch somewhere to their location every single night for 5 years. Last night, for the last two nights, I've felt within myself a change, and almost like a step, a movement forward. And I've put my Sam and Max and Mia, I put them, actually they still sleep in the same part of the house, but I put myself in a completely opposite side of the house. I live in a 4-bedroom home, and pretty big, and I purposefully put myself complete opposite side of the house. And the first night I slept in a bed, and I slept in a separate room, locked separate room, completely opposite. I just took this step of faith, and I felt ready to do this step forward. And it's a big deal for me, because I've never really been in a situation like this where I feel like I've been battling and fighting some hidden force. Sometimes it manifests through the electronics, sometimes it manifests through anger, sometimes it's a presence that it's there, but it's not there. Anyway, for two nights. First night I slept in the room, again, it's completely separated, opposite side of the house, in the room, locked with the bed. And let me be very, very clear. It's not a matter of needing a bed. I have, in fact, more beds than I need. I have an extra, I think, 1 or 2 beds, extra bed actually. I have plenty of beds for each of first my Sam and my Max, my Mia, for myself, and for the, anyway, I do have, it's not a matter of needing beds. That's not the issue. That's not the problem here. The problem has been two-step. First, a big oppressive, almost heavy non-seen force that has been at play, that has been at battle, and it's been really, it feels like it's been up to me to make sure that it is up to me, because I'm strong. And back to the story. First night went fairly smoothly. I tucked my Sam and my Mia in beds, and then I retreated to the opposite side of the house, on the bed, closed the door, locked the door, enjoyed some rain, and it felt good when I woke up in the morning. It felt on a soft bed, it felt refreshing, it felt relaxing, and there wasn't very much friction, there wasn't very much of anything. It felt pretty normal. The second night, last night, there was, I kid you not, there was a presence. First time I'm dealing with this. There was a presence that was literally battling for my bed. A presence that was attacking on the paranormal. And did I give up my bed? No. I stayed. And it made this entity very, very angry. I'm not sure where or where this form of energy is collecting itself from. I feel like it's not a threat to my Sam and Max or my Mia. It has an issue with me, and for whatever reason, it doesn't want me to have a bed, which is very strange and bizarre and peculiar. I mean, what's the purpose of a bed? A bed could be a bench. It could be a mattress. It could be a bunk. It could be a sofa, right? It's where you rest. What's the purpose? Why is this such a big issue in haunted Arizona? And does it have to do with the elevation? A bed is slightly off the ground, meaning that maybe if there's planes or different dimensions, now we're talking about a whole different realm of things. Is it because the bed is elevated off the ground level? And why was it very important for this man to lie and to speak this into or try to speak this when I moved in, you on the floor? And why does the psyche, or why does the subconscious sometimes believe these lies? It's really important. I'm learning from this experience to be very careful to the voices, to the people that you listen to, because a lot of it has to do, and it surfaces from feelings of non-good. If you're a good person and you find yourself just living your normal life, your best life, doing the best you can, then, and you find these interferences, you find these encounters or these particular paranormal, I'm not sure how tonight's gonna go. If it's gonna be smooth sailing, or if it's gonna be another fight with some angry paranormal thing. I'll need to update after tonight, or maybe I'll I'll make a video and while I'm sleeping or something. You know how you see those videos of leave a video directly on you. I mean, I have cameras, but I'm going to specifically focus it. And because it seems like whatever is happening or targeting or attempting to pollute or to overtake or to overcome, it seems like it's in opposition with me, and it's not in agreement with me having my own bed in my own house, in my own home. And this is quite a big step. For 5 years, I have moved forward, and I have I've encountered different sorts of strange and unexplainable in this location, but I'm not going to be talking about some other that stuff. I could talk about that stuff later. Some other stuff that's been really out of the usual. For now, I hope you have a good bed to sleep on. Like I said, I've never had this issue before. I've always slept on beds before. I've never had an encounter, especially with something paranormal, where it feels like I'm in competition for the bed. Are you sleeping on the bed tonight? Are you sleeping on the floor tonight? Or up high in the ceiling tonight? And it is really bizarre because it feels like, it felt like, I'm going to go back a little bit into last night's experience. It felt like me being in my room, again, completely opposite side of the house. It felt like my energy, my presence irritated this other entity that was trying to occupy this room. And it's not okay, because I don't know how this is happening, or what kind of equipment or what kind of interference I'm picking up on. And hopefully it gets the clue and it gets the hint. Hey, get the fuck out. This is my house. This is my place. This is my room. This is my area. You're not welcomed here. I'm trying to say this in the most nicest way possible, because I'm not entirely, I don't fully understand why or what the obsession is with a bed occupancy. This is a house. It's not a hotel. It's not. And even if it was a hotel, or even if it was a different sort of living situation or living form, what is the obsession with a haunting in Arizona that is focused and fixated on sleeping on the floor versus sleeping on a bed versus sleeping in a chair versus sleeping on a bench, or versus sleeping standing up? It is very spooky to even. I can't fathom any further or plausible explanations, or even try to make sense of it. I'm just confessing, dutifully confessing, and now that I've let this off my chest, I feel a lot better. I will see how tonight goes, and I will need to make a follow-up video, and maybe make as many videos as it takes until this force or form or entity or paranormal or this extra existence that is trying to steal my life, until it vanishes, until it gets the freaking clue, until as long as it takes. On that note, It's talking about burials. How fitting to the personal experience I just shared. Today's message is about, today's word, today's inspiration is talking about burials. What does a burial have to do? A graveyard, a resting place, a final resting place, a place where a place that's an ending, but in the spiritual sense, it's also a beginning in the afterlife, depending on what you believe. And it looks like it's talking about overcoming canopies, tents, overcoming. How fitting for my situation. Overcoming. You know, sometimes I wondered, maybe my house, my home, this whole entire locale has been built on a graveyard. Sometimes I have been pondering, and if it's been built on a graveyard, the soil built on a graveyard, does the bones, does the remains of the, it's a different story for another day. And this talks about overcoming into overcoming the snares of death. Overcoming the snares of death. That sounds deep. Overcoming the snares of death. And it also talks about it seems like it talks about persistence. Kind of goes with my story, with my personal testimony. Overcoming the snares of death. Be persistent to overcome any situation that you find yourself in, no matter how strange, unusual, out of the ordinary.